That, ladies and gentlemen, is how you start the weekend. Miami Heat victorious tonight over the Indiana Pacers, 125-120. Davion Mitchell. They may call him off night, but tonight he was on target, dude, with a money three-pointer to lift the Miami Heat. Big onions. They dared him. They sold out. They tried to stop Boy Wonder. He gives up the rock to Davion Mitchell, and he goes, swish! Wow. Whew, what a game, man. What a game. I want to start today. I want to start the video properly with my atonement of sins to Erik Spoelstra. Forgive me, Riley, for I have sinned. It has been too long since my last confession. I have forsaken the great Erik Spoelstra because I scoffed at this stupid lineup. I'm sorry. I had scoffed at his lineup that I thought was stupid to start the second half of this game. It was a lightning affair in the first half. And he starts like, you guys know I want to see Kel'el Ware play. And I go, a little sensitive that he starts this game in the second half, or he starts off the second half. He's got Alec Burks out there, and he goes small. And I'm like, oh, my God. Fine. And it just starts off awfully for the Miami Heat because the Pacers go on an 8-0 run, and you're just like, are you bleeping kidding me? After playing the way they played and the Miami Heat getting this game back to where they were, and it was, man, they played. They really, I give Miami a lot of credit, for the games that they had today, where I definitely feel like 3 games ago, Miami packs it up and has no toughness to win this game. Today, they showed up, and I am a bum because I was like, where's my Kel'el Ware? Why is he not out there? And Spo's just like, you shut up, Tobin, with your untrained eye. I got this. And wouldn't you know it, after that 8-0 run, who's there to spark like an ignited flame, like Flint on dynamite? But Alec Burks, who was a bucket, getting some big-time threes to get Miami right back into this thing after the Pacers run. Got to just really credit Miami's shot making tonight because, dude, the Pacers were crazy with this one. They were all over the place. They were on one with some of the shots they were making today. And Spo goes with this dynamic of going with Alec Burks. And, dude, I'm like, I don't know. Is this going to work? He goes, yeah, dude, it's going to work. And it brought Miami right back into it with those 2 threes, right back into within 3. Then you get a Bam putback. And then Haywood Highsmith. What can you say about this guy, man? You want to talk about lineups, and this guy was just out of the rotation. Forgotten about. The locksmith off into the basement, never to be seen again. Well, he has risen like a phoenix. And he's out there, and he's blocking Tyrese Halliburton. And he's getting second efforts. And he's getting offensive rebounds and putbacks. And he's just oozing Heat culture all over the place. I really enjoy watching that man play basketball. I really, really do. It was a marvel. This thing was a lightning pace back and forth, dude, because you were talking like Haywood Highsmith ties it up. And then Herro gets Miami its lead. First lead since they were up 11-9 in this game with a 12-1 run. Haywood then gets the block on Halliburton. Tyler comes back with a 3. But then Pascal Siakam picks it up. And, dude, this guy could not friggin' miss today for the Indiana Pacers. It was a lightning pace. It was something. And then, Miami gets a couple of rough patches here where you got Davion Mitchell. He throws a turnover right out of the gate. And then you have TJ McConnell comes in. And I really just have to say, I don't know what the best term or the best way to describe the way I feel about TJ McConnell, because I have a lot of respect for him. Why would you not have a respect for a veteran who has played that long? But I loathe this man. I loathe him. I loathe his hustle. I loathe his heart. I loathe that little stupid paint jumper that he hits, and his the coiffed in his hair as he, he runs back up the court after making another one of those 7-foot paint jumpers that he just berated Miami with his entire career. I respectfully loathe TJ McConnell. I just want that out there. I just want that clear. It is not that he does not deserve respect. He's obviously been in the league for a long time. Cool. But man, geez, do I really I am so sick of seeing him, and I am sick of his face. That being said, we get into this thing. He starts hitting his little paint jumpers, which are very annoying. And then you get Kel'el Ware, who goes to the line. He gets his moment. Kel'el Ware, it's not like he was banished. He does come in for Bam out, and he played well. So once again, Spo, I apologize. I was an untrained eye. I am a bum, and I apologize. But he nailed how to take this game with Kel'el coming in. And then, by the way, we did get back to double bigs by the end of this thing. But in the meanwhile, not to play spoiler, even though you guys already know the result, he comes in there, he gets fouled by Thomas Bryant, who, I mean, obviously wanted this game. In the first half, he was like flexing at the heat bench. He's like, ooh, get rid of me. And I'm like, yeah, dude, we did. Sorry. You are getting more of an opportunity, and, I'm sorry you live in Indianapolis now. Then Kel'el Ware would get a steal, and Haywood Highsmith would get Burke Smith and put it back and give Miami a little bit more of a lead. And then TJ McConnell actually coughed it up, and Duncan Robinson found Haywood Highsmith. Miami goes up 97-92. Tyler Herro has 25 points through 3 quarters. The only piece of news that happened in this that really sucks, and I should mention from the first half because it was probably the biggest story of a first half that was full of offense back and forth. The unfortunate thing, before we get into this fourth quarter, Jaime Jaquez Jr. ends up badly turning an ankle. He turned his right ankle, was writhing in pain, dude. And it's always unfortunate to see one of your players get hurt, but it's really, really, really a bummer because he got the start tonight with no Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins did not play because of an ankle injury. And Jaime started off a little bit clunky. He had a couple of bad turnovers, and then all of a sudden just kind of settled in. He had some really great baskets. He had some big-time threes. I mean, every bucket. Like, this was a game. Every bucket was needed tonight. Every bucket was needed tonight, especially in the first half because, dude, the numbers in the first half from 3 by the Indiana Pacers were astronomical. That team could not freaking miss. And Miami, they just had to keep their head above water. Thankfully, they did. But a big reason they did was Jaime Jaquez Jr. It cannot be slept on that this man had a little bit of a redemption in this performance. But today in this game, dude, 13 of 19 from downtown today from the Indiana Pacers in the first half. But Miami kind of kept pace, 10 of 16. And Jaime was a big reason for that. 4 for 4. He had 11 points, 4 rebounds, 1 steal. He was doing pretty. After those 2 turnovers, he really settled in. And so to see this is very, very unfortunate. And this is one of the downsides of the day. We get to the bad news here just for a second of this game because it's kind of the only bad thing to really respond on. You now have him hurt. It looked pretty bad. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. Maybe he'll be back. I would doubt he plays against the Knicks. Then there's a back-to-back. But it looked brutal. It looked like a brutal injury from Jaime Jaquez Jr. And very, very unfortunate. So prayers up to Jaime. I hope that this gets better soon because it looked like he just got back to playing basketball again. It really did. He just was reacting. We got the patented footwork. We got the stuff in the paint. And he hit a big onions 3 from Bam Adebayo. And then the sick baseline reverse layup. Just looked good. He looked good. Every one of those buckets counted. Every one of them was needed. And it's really unfortunate what happened in this game. So we get to the fourth quarter, and basically this is the Miami Heat having to withstand the barrage from Pascal Siakam. I mean, you know, he went absolutely off, and he was hitting 3 after he was hitting fadeaways. He was hitting drives to the rim, but then, you know, his 3-point shot was outstanding today. What did he end up finishing today? Pascal Siakam finished today 13 of 21, 8 of 11 from downtown, 36 points. It was scary. It was squeaky cheeks every time he threw up the rock. I'm not going to lie, dude. But he ties it at 108 and then eventually gives Indiana the lead 110 to 108. And Duncan Robinson hit a big three to put Miami back up 111, 110. Spo then puts in Kel'el Ware, gets the team to be a little bit bigger, takes out Haywood Highsmith. Halliburton gets a steal off the Miami Heat, puts them back up 112, 111. Bam would then get this kind of driving runner, good, 113, 112. Then Bam would finally get on Siakam for a possession. No good jumper on him. Kel'el Ware gets the rebound. And then Bam Adebayo would get to the point where this was probably the most controversial play a couple of possessions down, because Miles Turner goes for a bucket in the paint. He misses it on the other end. Duncan Robinson and Bam Adebayo, the symmetry between these two, it is milk and cookies. It is peanut butter and jelly. It is spaghetti and meatballs. It is when Duncan Robinson and Bam Adebayo come together on a basketball court, the world is a better place. It just is. Like, water finds its, rising tides lift all boats. Water finds its level. I don't know. It's like when those two are on a basketball court together, the birds in the sky sing more beautiful. The sun shines brighter. The moon is full. Everything is just great when Bam Adebayo and Duncan Robinson do things on a basketball court together. It is beautiful. There's no other way to describe it. And Duncan Robinson found Bam Adebayo for a monster slam. Rick Carlisle and his stressed out Jim Carrey face just really getting mad at the officials because he thought it should have been a goaltend because Kel'el Ware went for the block on Miles Turner. He misses, hits the backboard, and he thought the rattling of the backboard, he thought that caused the miss. And maybe it did. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Take some Pepsid AC for your bellyache and Jim Carrey and hit the bricks, dude. Anyway, so Miami is up 115, 112. Did you think it was over? Of course not. Pascal Siakam comes back, hits 3, 115 apiece. But who is there to step up when needed for another 3? The dunk yard dog. That's who, dude, because when you need a 3 and it is in the balance, who do you go to? You go to Duncan fucking Robinson. That's who you go to. The dunk yard dog. You don't go in his yard. And what a beautiful setup. I just have to say, a beautiful setup by Davion Mitchell. Great little pass by him. Cleared him out and puts the Miami Heat up 118, 115. And you thought, all right, maybe that's the one that they need. But no, Siakam, once again, big-time bucket, big-time 3. Terrible. But Duncan Robinson would respond. He would get a bucket off the window. He'd get up to 20 points there. And finally, next time down, Bam, able to defend Siakam, gets a tougher look, not able to get his bucket to go. Ware gets the rebound. Then we have a very big challenge because Herro goes down the other end, shoots the runner, gets his own miss. He's initially called that he was fouled by Nembhard, but they go to the challenge. They say that he got ball first. Don't have too much of a quibble with the call. Think that that they were right. And it's 1:15 left in the game. Tough break for Miami. It's 120, 118. Tyrese Halliburton goes, ties it with a big-time jumper over Davion Mitchell. Under a minute left. We talked about it early on. But Davion, who he's had a, look, Andrew Wiggins has had his moments. I got to be honest with you. Davion Mitchell and what he has brought in this trade has been just as, if not more impressive than what Andrew Wiggins has done in this trade. And I'm not poo-pooing on Andrew Wiggins. I've liked watching Andrew Wiggins. Davion Mitchell is, like, I think, becoming a fan favorite and a Spo favorite immediately. So they dared his ass to shoot. And the Heat, he talked about this a little bit. I saw Zach Weinberger put this clip about this, about Spo wanting to even get more out of him offensively. And that's the thing with the Heat, man. Other places may kind of hold you back. The Heat will lean into that offense and what he can do. And just an onion shot from Davion Mitchell. What can you say, dude? What can you freaking say? Bam would get the steal. Tyler Herro goes to the rim, gets fouled, goes to the line, hits them both. That would be all. Pelle Larsson over-celebrating with Tyler Herro in the winner's circle with Will Manso just screaming, "Go on, G!" Pelle Larsson, for a guy who's, like, very cool, when it's like he's like just very Swedish cool with all his interviews, you know? The guy's very intense with the celebrating. I mean, he's very intense in, like, first quarter celebrations. But what can you do? I mean, those dreamy eyes. I mean, you just get lost in him. He can do whatever that he wants in those friggin' celebrations. Big win for the Heat tonight. Miami is now up to 7th in the East after improving to 28-30. So, still work to do to make the record look pretty. But as far as the standings are concerned, they do leapfrog the Orlando Magic. But, to crawl into this top 6 now, you got a red-hot Pacers team who I do believe lost tonight. Let's take a little looky-loo at the scores tonight. Pacers got whacked by the Nuggets. Thunder beat the Hawks. Cavs beat the Celtics. And the Knicks did win tonight, 114-113. So they're coming in here. Hopefully plenty of drinky poos for them as they roll into South Florida tonight. And Astron, do your worst. Whatever you got to do there on to distract with the cheeks this week. Get us all ready for a kind of an early matinee for the game coming up. Anyway, we're getting wild here on a Friday night. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. We now will close this early month, in a good mood. I'm ready to get hurt again. While Coyote is back. Meet motherfuckers. Let's go.